Well, joining me tonight for Talking Pints is Sir Geoffrey Boycott, OBE. He's come straight from Lords, where we're playing the second test against India. I'm not sure it's been a particularly good day, but Geoffrey, cheers, welcome to GB News. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Now, Sir Geoffrey Boycott, your fans have been calling you Sir Geoffrey for about 20 years before that, I think.
Yeah,
and I have to say, with you coming on today, as you know, I'm a big fan of Test cricket, loving...
Yeah.
I've been going to Lords since the early 70s watching Test cricket, so I didn't need to do any research because I knew you had 151 first-class hundreds, and I knew you played 108 Test matches, and you'd scored over 30,000 runs. It was a very long career you had, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you were playing well into your 40s, weren't you?
Well, I was playing against those West Indians when I was 40 and 41. It was madness, really.
Had no helmet in those.
No, the greatest fast bowling attack the world's ever seen. And the one thing about fast bowling is the fear of getting hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, for many, many years, there was no helmets at all. So if you got hit on the head, it could be cleaners. And even with helmets and arm pads and chest pads, they can really hurt you. So, I mean, a lot of Test cricket has been won by one fast bowler, or even two. Larwood won the Ashes in Australia, the body line. I mean, Truman Statham, you've had Lindwall and Miller, you've had Lillian Thompson.
Yep.
And they've always won one or two. They're aces in the pack, but now they had four. Yeah. And they had a few queuing up to get in the team who couldn't. Wayne Daniels at Middlesex played 11 times. Sylvester Clarke, he was a bowler. The odd ball he threw, and very fast, and very well.
He threw
at
it.
Surrey. He played 10 times. So, I mean...
But I watched you playing, and, you know, it was against fast bowling, right foot back and across, the Geoffrey Boycott elbow up here somewhere. I don't know how you managed to get it up to that position, but you did.
Practice.
But you never showed fear when you were out there, but were you scared at times?
No. Apprehensive, nervous.
Yeah.
I think it's very important to have nerves. You can't show fear. You have to have some confidence that you can succeed, although you know it's going to be tough. And, you know, sometimes they're going to win. Richard Benno said something very important to me. Geoffrey, if the opening bowler with the new ball doesn't get you out sometimes, he's not doing his job very well. And if you don't get some runs and some hundreds sometimes, you're not doing your job. So you're not going to win every time, not unless you're Don Bradman, who's a genius. Most of us, we have good and bad times, and hopefully we have more good times than bad. Then we're pretty good.
Well, it's noticeable with your Test career that every time you scored 100, England never lost a game.
They never lost a game.
You know, and some criticised you for slow play, but hey, you know, I mean, sportsmen always get criticised for stuff. But it's interesting, isn't it? You got criticised for slow play, but I notice now Test matches often don't last 5 days, do they?
No.
They're over in 4 or 3.5 or...
They should be playing 4-day Test match cricket. Yeah. Playing 7-hour days. And they should be making them bowl 16 overs an hour. They're cheating the public.
They're not doing. Yeah.
It's £165 the ticket at Lords today. £165. Two grown-ups, 330.
Yeah.
If you had, let's say, kids can come in from a tenner, but that's £350 for a day, not the whole test.
Yeah.
That's a lot of brass. And we bowl in 13.5 overs an hour. It's monstrous. All you have to do, don't alter the size and shape of the bat, the length of the pitch, the stumps or anything. Don't alter anything. Just make them, penalise them, if they don't bowl, say, 16 overs an hour, and just move the game on a bit into 4 days. That's all.
So you played well into your 40s.
Yes.
You know, you packed up county cricket in your mid-40s.
46.
46. And you were, I remember, one of those cricketers, I think Alan Knott was another, you took fitness and training very, very seriously. You ran, you got yourself into good condition, you had your injuries, broken bones and all the stuff that cricketers have.
Broken bones mainly, because you get hit on the fingers or on the arm. I broke my arm in Australia and so thing. You're going to get breaks as a top-order batsman against fast bowlers.
But you were taking fitness seriously.
Yes.
At a time when not many cricketers did. I sort of see visions of Colin Cowdrey walking out with a little stomach out here somewhere. I mean, still a very good batsman.
A good bat.
And all the rest of it. But for somebody you've taken your health very seriously all your life, you've not been that lucky in later years, have you?
No, I got cancer of the tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had 2 years ago quadruple heart bypass. I didn't have a heart attack, but they just found it on examination. Yeah, I've had all kinds of things. I think if you play Test cricket long enough, you're in love with it. You've got to have a strong mind. That's what Test cricket, you have to play. You have to be a great character, good technique. You have to have a strong mind.
Yeah.
If you play the 20-20 and the 100 ball, it's just crash, bang, wallop. It's really baseball. Cricket's answer to baseball. Stand, can you hit a home run? 4 or 6, every ball. That's what it is. Test cricket isn't like that. It ebbs and flows and changes from steady to quickness. And one side gets the upper hand, and you've got to be able to have a quick mind to think. You may be under pressure for half an hour with fast bowling. Can you play through it? You're not going to smack them round the park. It has all these aspects. I think Test cricket is an examination. When you go to 20-20, the 100 balls, it's just pure fun. Yeah. And treat it like that.
But it's a good day out for the crowd.
It's a wonderful day.
Yeah, and 20-20, it's over in 3.5 hours or
and
whatever it is.
And the tickets are cheap.
Yeah, no,
30 quid. 165 quid for a test. There ain't too many going to that. No. Only those that can afford it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've been to a few 2020s, and I was a bit sceptical to begin with. Actually, do you know what? It's fun.
No, I thought it would be great fun.
Yeah.
It would fill a void.
Yeah.
Kids can go, families can afford it. And you look at the modern-day kid for the last number of years. They used to having everything quick, instant, exciting. I mean, how many of them sit down quietly like we did and read a book when there was no television? Now there's television, there's games on television, there's got computers with games, they've got mobile phones to get everything on. All kinds of things.
Yeah.
And it's just right for what the modern youngster wants.
So does Test cricket survive? I mean, I hope and pray that it does.
I think it'll struggle.
Do you?
I think this 20-20, 100 ball, and the administrators put in all the promotion into it. If they put the same amount of money and promotion and effort into Test cricket, changing it to 4 days, moving the over rate on, selling it to the public, explaining how different it is, we could have and should have both games. Because they both have a part to play. We shouldn't lose one. But there are so many countries now, they're struggling, they're losing money on Test cricket. New Zealand only have 5 million people. South Africa has struggled, and West Indies, no chance. Pakistan don't watch Test cricket.
I've been to Barbados to watch Test cricket, and there's more English in the crowd than there are Barbadians in there.
And I did 3 tours there. And when I played, the grounds were full of West Indians. Now they're not. They don't go. They look at the team and the standard of cricket and the quality, and they go, when I've watched Sobers and the 3 W's, you know, and Ryan Canai and Wes Hall bowling and Malcolm Marshall and Michael Holding, they go, no, I'll give it a miss now. It's not in the same league.
No.
And we're not selling Test match cricket. We're just leaving it as it was, and we're kind of seducing ourselves that because Lord's is full, because our Test grounds are full, that's going on the same way in other parts of the world. It isn't.
But it isn't.
Ours is healthy, you're right.
Yeah.
Australia is when the Ashes are played or India play. But other countries are not doing that. And in the end, if we lose the other countries in Test cricket, then we're left with England, Australia and India playing itself all the time. And that's going to get tedious.
Yeah.
Now, you need the different countries to make it interesting and exciting.
Now, you were there today at Lord's.
Yeah.
I know Jimmy Anderson, he's 39 now, which for a fast bowler is amazing. Took a couple of wickets. What do you make of this England team?
They've got 2 world-class batsmen, Joe Root and when he plays, Ben Stokes. They're 2 world-class players. They play in any era. They're very, very good.
And the rest?
Well, some of them, my mum would play as well. Sorry, they haven't got it, some of them. And if you haven't got it, by the age you play, it's difficult to find it.
So we're struggling for batsmen, which we clearly are.
Quality, it's the quality we're struggling for.
But then I look at the bowlers, I say Jimmy Anderson...
But Broad and him are getting old.
39 and 35, so... And nobody obviously coming through. No. Some bright young things. But English Test cricket's not looking fantastic, Geoffrey, is it?
Well, if I had some money, I won't be putting it on England, going to Australia.
You've made loads of money over there.
I won't be putting it on England. I'd like them to win. Having said that, you see, they're not a great batting side, but they have a far better bowling attack. You know, Stark, Cummings,
I agree.
Is top class. If they stay fit.
So why Geoffrey? Because I've listened to Test Match Special. I've loved Test Match Special. I've been Agnew's, guest of the day on the Saturday on it and all the rest of it. And so I've listened to Test Match Special for over 50 years.
Yeah.
I've always loved the programme, always enjoyed the programme. Been a mixture of some quite light-hearted fun, but some serious, And at the end of the over, you get the summariser. You get the person that knows the pitch, that knows the game.
Well, you used to. I don't know if you do now. I don't listen.
And, even your detractors, because, you know, you're an opinionated guy, you've never, you know, you're a Yorkshireman, you've never exactly held back with your views, but even your detractors would say, yeah, that Boycott, actually, at the end of the over, when he gives analysis...
I know the game.
He knows the game.
I know the game.
Why are you not on the BBC, Geoffrey? No, it's a serious question. I mean, who knows more about batting in Test matches than you?
I think he was getting to the point where the political correctness was more important than whether you were expert at cricket, put it that way. Does that sum it up for you?
Well, it does. It's remarkably reserved for you, though.
Yes. Well, when you're not working with something, you don't want to be trashing it, do you? It
no, I get that.
No, I just think, yes, it was getting that way.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody should be equal. Men and women, race, colour. It should be about ability. There's a shade of white fear. We don't talk about it anymore. We may talk in private, but you say it publicly, the media will crucify you and so forth, because it's a good story. But actually, it's getting like that, and it's sad, really. It should be equality for everyone. I think that's what the law was, isn't it?
It's supposed to be. Yeah, it's supposed to be.
I mean, I know women were treated badly, and sometimes, you know, but now I thought it was equality on ability. And
we seem to be, rather than going for equality, we're sort of dividing people up into separate groups, and I find that worrying. Very, very worrying. But I mean, Brexit, Geoffrey. I was, as you know, I was
for Brexit. Yep,
I was for, you know, for the early 1990s. I was advocating we should leave the European Union, and that opinion. You know, I mean, we were called all the names under the sun.
Sure.
But you were a passionate Brexiteer, weren't you?
I was, because I believe that we shouldn't be allowing Germany and France to run our destiny. Hell, we went through 2 world wars and we got over it. We actually saved Europe. And we're strong people. The British people are strong. They got over it. Like Brexit now, like COVID, we'll get through it because we're strong people. We've had all sorts of incidents through our history. We've had Napoleon tramping through Europe. We've had the Armada. We've had all sorts. You know, we fought France, didn't we? Agincourt, we beat them there with the longbow men. I mean, all the time, we survive, we're strong.
And they don't play cricket?
No.
Well, They do a bit. But...
Listen, we should make our own destiny, decide our own way. I mean, we lived for most of, you know, our history. We weren't attached to Europe. We went in for economic reasons. We didn't go in for them to tell us what to do in everything else. Just trade, we went in for it. And then it sort of expanded, didn't it?
Bit of mission creep going on.
Yeah,
there was.
It just went on, and we couldn't do anything about it. We don't want that. Yeah. At least, if our politicians, our Prime Minister, our Chancellor, whatever it is, if they don't do a good job, we do have the right to vote them out. And that has happened more than once. It comes round maybe every 4 years or 5 years, but it does come round. You know, and you can only get away with it so long. When people say, no, I don't like him. He don't tell me the truth. And they put their cross in another box. You can't do that with Europe. They just decide, no, well, I don't want that.
No, you're passionate about it. And because of your own... And you know, controversy, Geoffrey, has never been too far away from you.
If you're frank, forthright, opinionated, you'll find it's an uphill struggle. Margaret Thatcher said that. If I believe passionately in something, I'll always get opposition. She did, yet she was brilliant for this country. I mean, some Labour people will still spit and blood and fire against her.
I mean,
but they're not being rational.
You came from a pit village.
I came from a Labour community.
Yes.
My father was a coal miner, and I think Hemsworth had the biggest majority. 39,000 people voted at one stage, and 37 voted red. If they put a donkey up with a red ribbon on that, voted for it.
Well, they probably did.
But fortunately, I went to travel the world playing cricket. I met other people, and I could think for myself. I don't want that. I don't want anybody to vote. Nobody should vote blindly for Conservatism or Labour. You shouldn't vote blindly for anything. You should think. You know, God gave us a brain to think. We've had an education. Think about who's going to do good for the country.
Well, in the end, it was another Conservative woman who was a bit of a fan of yours.
Yes.
Theresa May.
I think she's a nice lady.
Big fan of yours. Didn't have a great time as Prime Minister.
The reason was she tried to please everybody. Yeah. Was that president in America said you can't please everybody all of the time.
Yeah.
And when she got in, she's so nice a person. She tried to please the Brexiteers because they voted in majority. She had to. But she's tried to please them who wanted to remain in Europe. And you just can't, can you? You can't please everybody.
No. But she pleased you. Because after, and there'd been, you'd had your problems with the French courts and that assault case, and you'd been through all that difficulty.
Yeah. But
Theresa May decided it was going to be Sir Geoffrey Boycott. How did that feel?
Well, it was nice. No, look, it's nice that I've had it before the court case, with the French court case and what she did to me. But you can't rewrite history.
No.
Every time I've had a setback or a knockdown, and people get that, I've had a lot, you've got to pick yourself up. You've got to be strong. I am strong mentally. My life would have been easier if I had done wrong and I said, oh, I'm sorry, apologised, and did a mea culpa and cry like Tiger Woods, and everybody had sympathy for me, and it'd been great, wouldn't it? He's redeemed.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be redeemed because I know I didn't do anything wrong. It's as simple as that. Not because I'm too proud to apologise. I'll apologise for many things I've done in my life, but not that, because I didn't do it. It's simple as that. Not everybody has had a fair deal by the law. The law's not perfect. It's the best we have. Probably as good as it is in the world, but French law isn't like that. You couldn't... there's no adversarialness in my case there. They could say what they want, I have to say my back. We couldn't challenge anything they said.
Our legal system is infinitely better.
It's miles better. But I didn't get that legal system. And unfortunately, I'm stuck with it. But my conscience is clear. And that's why I've been able to pick myself up and carry on.
Well, as I say, you finally got the recognition that so many people thought you deserved. In some ways, though, Geoffrey, it might have been quite fun. I mean, Ian Botham, of course, has finished up in the House of Lords. And he's
good, I'm pleased for him.
And he's campaigning on countryside issues.
He's been the best England cricketer I've ever played with, by far.
Yeah,
wonderful.
Fantastic.
I mean, absolutely. I wrote to him when he got his lordship.
Yes.
I sent him a card. I said, it's been a delight to play with him. He was a brilliant cricketer. His bowling was fantastic, and it allowed... that specialness in his bowling and all the wickets, it allowed him to have the freedom to play.
Your career's overlapped by a couple of years.
Yes, I was at the end. He started his test match career, his first test at Nottingham, when I came back at 36. He was 21. And I told him...
Is that the day you ran out Derek Randall?
Absolutely.
Sorry to remind you of that.
No, it's all right. If he'd have run a bit quicker, he'd have got in.
You had some bad press the next day over that one, I remember.
Hey, listen, we were 80 for 5, though, losing the test, and I got 100, and Alan not got 100, and we won the test. You know, there's a plus and a minus.
I know.
No, it was a... Look, it was.
No, both of them fantastic.
He was a great cricketer.
Geoffrey, you've turned 80.
Yeah. Listen, when I got to 80 not out batting, getting 100 was pretty set. I'm not sure I'll make 100 from that. That's a lot more difficult, let me tell you.
Well, Geoffrey, all I can say is for those of us like me that have loved cricket all our life, you've been one of those constants, really. You know, I've known about Geoffrey Boycott since I was down there somewhere, and I'm lucky to meet several times over the years, but thank you for coming on GB News.
Pleasure.
And thank you for chatting with us.
Lovely.